Hi everyone, it's time for Muse Live and welcome to this morning activation reading everyone. It's an exciting morning, you guys. Got a lot going on. It's our full moon in Pisces reading, you guys. It's the harvest moon. It's all about reaping and sowing. There's a lot of deep emotions involved. There's a completion of the cycle. There's some spiritual growth, you guys. There's also a lot going on astrologically. We got these 4 planets in retrograde. That's Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. It's really such an interesting time, and it's also like still in eclipse season. So we had not only did we have a super blue moon, harvest moon, we also had a partial eclipse. So that's really a great time for, releasing and letting go. Oftentimes eclipse energy is so powerful, and it's not really something you want to kind of use for manifesting at the time. Definitely use that energy to release and let go of the things that do not serve. And I'm going to tell you guys, maybe it's this Pisces energy. We really haven't had too many Pisces moons yet, but there is definitely some emotional, very like deep, very I can't even explain it, guys. There's just a lot going on with that one. I mean, Jupiter rules over Pisces, so also there should be some bit of abundance going on, thinking about wisdom and generosity and growth, all of that going on. And not to mention, guys, along with the Pisces energy, we also have the 7th day today. So numerology wise, we are in the 7th day, and 7's all about really connecting with your, that spiritual growth, spiritual energy, you guys. It's all about like, really tapping into your inner wisdom and just using something. Let's like really tap into our intuitiveness right now, you guys. So let's get on with our reading. That was kind of like the highlights for a morning. This should be an exciting reading. A lot was going on this week for me, and I kind of had some confirmation that it wasn't just me, because I had a lot of other people calling me, just letting me know what was going on. And it was interesting. So set your intentions right now, everyone, for what you would like the universe, God, source, and your guides to let you know for this coming season as we enter into October. Ooh. Whoa, okay, I think these are, we got some fallouts, you guys. I think this is okay, I need some of those. What does the universe want to let us know? What are we kind of going through right now? Anything that we need to activate? So, guys, I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot of like serious just revelations going on with this particular reading. I'm not even going to be kidding with you guys. Luckily, I had a friend who called me like late last night, and I didn't even realize that it was like the full moon next day. I was so just tired from the week, and I was like, wow, okay. And I didn't even realize that, and I ended up getting like a cleansing from her, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it was amazing. If you ever need that, she does Reiki. I can definitely, like give her information out for you guys. It was amazing. I just kind of like really released a lot of things and some blocks that I had. So, and this week was just interesting because, we're talking a lot about like moving forward. And it was just interesting, like even my reading, like if you guys came on Wednesday, you might have caught some of it. I think only the first 5 minutes got recorded, and the rest of it just went, and then I had to delete it. I didn't even bother to re-record it or anything. It was just a interesting time. It means it's a lot of energy, both positive and negative, just kind of passing through, going through. So, I'm really interested to see how we're going to be moving forward as we move into our 9th year. Where are we now, you guys? Yes, and this is interesting. Here we have is the Knight of Swords, you guys. Swords is all about intellect and mind, and when you have the Knight, you got this kind of like fast-talking person. You have this like chivalrous type of person. You almost have like a warrior, right? Kind of fighting through. some of the mental things going on right now. And like I said, the Pisces energy is very like emotional. So, and emotions also kind of like, set in with what's going on up here. So a lot of us are just going through some of these mental challenges right now. We're doing some mental aerobics. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things from the past are coming up. Just the same things coming up over again with some of our relationships with the people, even in our inner circle. There's a lot of things going on within that. And like this particular energy that's going on, it's triggering so many people. And when you're triggered, it's all in your head and your mind, you guys. And we kind of have to constantly remind ourselves of that and remember that whatever's going on right now, it's temporary. It's really all in our minds. And we do have the ability to really but right now, the universe is saying really, really, really fight for that mind space. People are really trying to get in our heads right now with some of their own, whatever it be, political views, just views on life, and just things that don't necessarily are not even in alignment with us. And universe is just trying to say, hey, really protect your mind space right now. This is really what I'm getting with this, because I'm going to tell you this week, this following week was just like insane, crazy. And what have you been going through? What's something that we're just kind of like alchemizing and kind of like going through right now? We got a lot of swords, you guys. We got a lot of swords. We have is the King of Swords. So the King is also just like the other swords, is all about like your mind and intellect, and really so it's all about being really self-sufficient in yourself, being rather I think a lot of us are really trying to find ourselves in a sense of leadership, and find ourselves in a way where we're really honing in and really just getting it down. How we're, there's some, I'm getting some energy here where we're still kind of learning how to deal with what's going on up here. And there are some people that are kind of using that to their advantage. They're a little bit more steady in that field of the mind and the intellect, not so much like the spiritual stuff, but just their way of thinking. And they're really using that to mess with us sometimes. And this is sort of the universe reminding us, hey, you know what, we can get there. We can get to that point, but we need to be steadfast. We need to really protect what's going on in our head right now. For all of you guys, or any of you guys who are struggling right now with some issues, and it seems like there is some struggles going on. There are some family issues. There's also some relationship issues right now going on. This eclipse season, even though it's a partial eclipse, it's really gonna bring in some of that energy, just chaos energy, and we have to learn how to deal with that, especially, and we have to learn how to deal with it first up here, because that's really where all of it comes from. There is some energy where someone at least has the facade of having it all together, but just remember, you guys, we don't always have it all together, and they're using that as kind of an intimidation factor for us to try to get, I'm sensing they're trying to get something they want from us. And so the universe is trying to tell us, hey, you need to kind of fight for that headspace right now. That's what I'm really getting, because we've been doing so much of the hard work, you guys. And up until this point, of course, we're going to be throwing a few wrenches in the system. Of course, a lot of things are going to be happening just to kind of test us to see where we're at constantly. We always have to kind of keep fighting for that. We can't be, even me, I kind of wasn't even doing my meditations on the daily anymore. I was just kind of doing it as I went along. And I'm you know what? I have to go back and do some of that, do some of that hard work, because you know what? It's the only way we can really stay consistent, right? And really be the master and the king of our own minds and our own headspace. At some point, and this could even be us, you guys, we were, because this is the past card, we were at this point where we had it all together, and we just started to get complacent. We stopped doing the work. The universe is kind of reminding us, hey, we need to continue to do the work. We always have to continue. We can't be complacent. Otherwise, the world, especially a 3D world, would just really come all over us. And what was really causing all of that, and what's influencing that, you guys, this is interesting. This is the 5 of Wands, you guys, and Wands is all about the fire energy, creative energy, but in this case, it's being used in such a negative way. There's some rivalry and we've gotten this card in the past too. There's some rivalry going on. There's some just upheaval going on, and especially a personal relationship. Some things are getting a little bit rocky, you guys, you know, and here we are just trying to hold the fort and trying to, like, you know, be stable and all of that. And in the meantime, a lot of this is going on. It's not so much us, I'm thinking, and because I'm getting that sense that, you know, we have been steadfast, and there is that character here where, you know, we're trying to be sovereign, and especially our mind and what we're thinking, but it's kind of getting difficult because there is so much. I mean, this is a collective reading, so not only in our outer environment, in our relationships, in the work environment, just pretty much all around us, there's that bit of chaos, and I'm wondering if it's some of that, just the eclipse energy that's bringing that in. It's really powerful stuff, so it's really important right now, you guys, to really just be steadfast and really just like, right? Kind of fighting for that mind space a little bit. And what's to come in the future. And this is funny because this card's always been like, kind of like, you know, has some Pisces energy to it. And we have like the Page of Cups. And here you have is like definitely some surprises to come. Excuse me. Definitely some surprises to come. Some new relationships to come. There's going to be some new players in our game, you guys. Some people coming in that are really going to change things around, but for the better. There's also a lot of emotional things going on with this as well, with some of the surprises going on. It's going to definitely be some new young energy. I'm feeling that right now, and I think we sometimes don't necessarily, especially for some of us as old folk, me included, we sometimes well, I don't necessarily take it for granted. Some of the young energy coming in, some of our YZ and Alpha generations, those guys are just like, you know, they're natural born, like, you know, basically warriors and all of this. And I think, so, you know, they're going to be helping us with that. They're going to be helping us kind of rejuvenate and renew, bring in some of those new surprises, but all for the better. And I'm really sensing some of that. So, you know, let's really start honing in on some of the younger generations and seeing what they have to bring to the table. Because I'm going to tell you, you know, as we talk about different waves and where we are with this whole spiritual growth thing, we sometimes tend to, you know, not look at the new players coming in, the rookies. They're definitely power packed with, you know, energy, knowledge, and wisdom that we need to kind of remember, or that, you know, we need to kind of hone in sometimes. So getting some of that, getting some young energy, you guys definitely fighting for your headspace, getting some new energy coming in the future, kind of like help waking us up and like further us through this whole, you know, awakening. And it's interesting, like what I was like, okay, where's the Arcanum cards, you guys, or the Arcanum cards, and this is what's kind of like influencing some of that young energy, some of that. And it's interesting that was what I was picking up. I'm also going to ACL this year, and I'm excited about it because I think it's really just, you know, the music industry is really like bringing out some new players that are just amazing, and I'm really sensing that, and they're so inspiring, and they're really like, you know, tapping into some of more of that spiritual, you know, spiritual wisdom that we just don't even like, you know, some of the older generations don't even know how to tap into. And what better way to do that through music? And I'm like thinking, I'm getting glitzy star glamour right here, but I'm also getting the star right here, you guys. And I love that. The star is really just a beautiful, beautiful card that has a lot to do with, like, first, it's a 7 card too, which is like, you know, we're talking, you know, the 7, we're talking about like the 7th day, and here we have is the 17th number, which also equates to the number 8. So as we look at the numbers and kind of like sequences. So today is technically the 16th day. 1, individuality, just independence and sense of self. And then you have the number 6, which is like kind of, you know, about nurturing who you are, right? And then you get the number 7, which is tapping more into like some of your spiritual energy. So the star is the number 17. So you have that, once again, the individualistic, independent spirit right here with the number 1, right? But then you're tapping directly into the number 7, which is all about, like, you know, your internal knowledge, your spiritual knowledge, some of the things that have to do with some of more of your spiritual work, right? And this is really like And it goes into the number 8, which is all about abundance. And then the universe is trying to remind us, hey, this is the 8th year. This is the 8th dragon year, you guys. We're really tapping into some of that abundance. But, you know, sometimes we have to like look up to the stars and look at some of the newer things coming out. Don't get so stuck in the old ways, you guys. Don't, you know, get stuck into this 3D, you know, chaotic world that we live in, and just realize, you know, we're moving forward and we're ascending. So you're, you know, some of the things that we were doing in the past just no longer are going to serve with that. So we need to constantly do the work. You know, here we are being sovereign in the past, and, you know, we think we get a little stagnant. We forget. We don't think we have to do the work. And we really do, you guys, we really do. We need to constantly fight for what's going on up here first as we move into the spiritual. And you know what? We got some team players, some really cool players that are coming out from that. And really getting a younger generation, even some of the, like, God, even the young kids that you don't even think about, up into the, like, the teens and maybe, like, the young adults. I'm getting, like, the XY alpha generation, Z. I'm getting some of the alpha generation, too, really coming in and just, you know, starting to, you know, really represent themselves and really, like, show us how to reach those goals, reach for the stars, because it's coming so naturally for them, you guys. I'm really picking that up again. I love that, because again, I love the new, young kind of energy that's coming out, and we can learn so much from that. And I did not pick a card from my map deck today, but I will now. As I enter into it, the universe wants to let us know what will help us through this week. It's just been such a challenging week, you guys. There's been so much emotions going on, you know, a lot of shadows resurfacing, things that we think we didn't need to go through. And it's funny because one of the cards I picked 2 cards last week, and I wasn't really able to, like, really hold on. And they were 2 Arcanum cards. One was the very first card, which was representing us, was the Magician, and then also the Fool. So we had this balance of just like, okay, you know, really honing in on the elements, really being like sovereign in ourselves, really being sovereign with, you know, what we do, and just being able to manifest, you guys, because really the Magician is like the ultimate manifester, right? It's also the one card as well, the very first card after the Fool. And here we have is the Fool in the past, which is like, we walked through that doorway. We're going on to our new path of adventure. And of course, you know, as cycles turn, I mean, this is like the end of the cycle with the 9. This is the completion of the cycle with the 9th month. We start to, like, you know, we have to move on to what's next. We can't really be lethargic. We can't really stay stuck in the past. We have to move forward and, like, you know what we're doing. So what will help with this? Ooh, this is interesting. This is the number 29, which equates to the number 11. And it's coming to life. It's like really coming out, bringing out whoever we are, what we're, you know, here to do. Really becoming truly holy ourselves and being able to shine, right? Shine that light to others. And, you know, the number 11 is really just like one of those master numbers that really, you know, is all about like tapping into your spiritual side, tapping into your intuition, the universe kind of like letting you know that, hey, you're going on the right track. And it equates to the number 2, which is all about balance and, you know, like duality, like being able to dance between the light and the dark, and really just being able to balance all of that. And that's exactly what this person's doing, coming to life. They're taking everything, the culmination, like the number 9, I always get, it's like the culmination of everything like falling into place. 9 is the 9th month right now. We're ending a cycle from the whole entire year, and we're moving on to the new. We're entering into the 9th year, which once again was the end of the cycle. And what does that mean, really? You know, it just means, like, you know, as we end a cycle, you guys, we should be raising the bar. We should be leveling up. I mean, that should be our goals, right? Because, like I said, we can't really stay stagnant. We can't be like the King of Swords, just kind of like, oh, I did what I did. I mastered it. Okay, I don't have to do anything else. No, you guys, there's always the hard work. And there's always, like, bringing it forward. And that's kind of the message and the lesson I'm learning today, you guys. and I'm sharing with you. So I want to thank you all for coming out. On the 28th and 29th, we're going to be in San Antonio. We have a big bazaar show going on. It's a monster con show, but we definitely bring it there. We will be doing live readings there, so I'll go ahead and post some of that information as we enter into that. Yes, things are a little bit more emotional right now, and just the only thing you can really do is be steadfast. Like for me, I have a lot of I have some bit of water energy in me, so I just find like, you know, some water, and I've been going to the pool lately, and or I've just been like, you know, just surrounding myself in water, taking like salt baths and just cleansing some of that energy, because it is intense, you guys. And like I said, if you can't surf through it, then if anything, at least you could float. So I hope that's all been so helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. You guys all have an amazing day. Love and light. Bye-bye.